Hello, successful people. Welcome back to the Iron Fire Success channel. I'm DK.
And I'm Mo.
Thank you so much to our subscribers.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our landscaping. We decided to go with what's called a Xeriscape landscaping scheme, which involves very little irrigation and a lot of rocks. So we're going to share that with you today. Let's take a look.
We finally got the landscaping done. This is February of 2024 and we moved in Labor Day of 2023. We'll show you what it looked like before, but let me step back into the street so that you can see how this looks. This took us a while because the area is so big that we had to cover. And we weren't exactly sure what we wanted to do. We knew we were going to do the Xeriscape instead of landscaping with grass. One, because of the drought restrictions and water restrictions that they have going on here in Texas. And two, because neither one of us is really skilled in the botanical arts. So we didn't want a whole lot of plants and vegetation that we were going to have to take care of. So we said yes to the Xeriscaping. That is just rocks with a few plants here and there, just, to give it some greenery, but not much. So I'm going to step back here and I'm going to go over what this is. Mo is inside hanging up a TV we got from Costco. So if I get anything wrong, he'll correct me. But so what we did here, first of all, let me just say that Mo contacted someone who drew out various plans of what this outside should look like and what kind of rock should be used where with various plants. Then he contacted 3 landscapers and asked them for their ideas. I think he gave them all the pictures, but he also asked for their ideas that they had of what they think the outside should look like, and also how far back along the sides of the house they would go. He also asked them for written proposals and price estimates for what they were going to do, which is an interesting thing because not everyone was prepared to do that. I thought they would be, but a lot of them kind of worked where they describe what they do to you orally, but they didn't really write things down. So this is limestone, these small white rocks here that you see along the edge of the street. I think these big giant pieces of rock you see out here, they got from the backyard, which is nothing but rocks. This here in the middle is eventually where our address will go. And they planted just a couple of little plants. There's no irrigation system down there. That's just, the plants are there and they survive. They're hardy plants. These rocks that are forming the circle in the middle came out of our backyard as well. And this, I believe Mo said, is Texas black rock that we have lining the driveway. I'm not absolutely positive that's what it's called, but I think so. So here we have larger rocks, which are like these white and brown looking. I think this is river rock. And I think the point here is that when water comes down, because we're at the end of a cul-de-sac and it's downhill, it'll run down along these rocks here. We had an issue with water pooling in the front, and I'll show you where that was and what they did about it. So they have the black outline, this kind of tan looking larger rock that won't wash away with the water, and the limestone that's in between there. This area here on the left was raised up, just naturally was kind of raised up there. So what they did was they made, using rocks from the backyard, they made this terrace here, which I think they did a great job of putting that together. And you see here where this brown river rock is, this is where the water was pooling. And so the water, at least the plan, is that when it rains, the water will run down along this way. It'll go across the driveway and then continue along the path where you see the brown rock. Now, because of the way that this house was built, the pipes that are underneath this section of driveway, we found out that they're not really for water to pass under the driveway. It was for if you were getting an irrigation system to pass those cables or tubes or whatever under the driveway. So with our water that was pooling in this area, it really has no choice but to wash over the driveway and down around the house, which actually is an improvement from what was happening. It's just pooled and then formed a nasty, muddy mess. You'll see on this side, because the driveway was lower on this side, and so what they did was built up this little flower bed area using the brick that looks like the house. So I thought that was good, and they just planted a couple of these little plants in here, some Texas sage. I think some of it is called agave, and they're supposed to be self-maintained, pretty easy. On this side, because this was not as high, they outlined it and planted the plants, but it's just not as high as it is on this side. Another thing they did, which was there were these flower beds at the front of the house with nothing in them, just like dirt and probably concrete from building, but they used some brick to outline that, which they did a nice job, and planted some plants here. You can see we have gutters now that we didn't have before too, because the water is just pooling so badly. And we've got another outline flower bed on this side of the house. Now, one of the things in getting the estimate to do the work here is that some of the contractors wanted to stop just at the very edge of the house, and this particular guy went back, which is going to be a little tough to see without me walking along these rocks, which I really don't want to twist my ankle. Okay, here we go. Now you can see that they actually put some brick there around that part of the house. That's where the master bathroom shower curves out. So I thought that was a nice touch and thing to do. And now I'm going to walk around this side of the house. Oops. Still, sorry about that. It's a little big. Okay. Because, oops, I'm walking on this crushed limestone way easier than that large rock. So now you can see where this rock stops right along the side. Okay, I don't know why this camera is going crazy, but you can see they made a little path here with this crushed limestone going around the side to the back of the house. And they also put a little pad there with some brick and crushed limestone because that step was kind of high. So I'm walking on the dirt now, but at least there's space to get around the side of the house. So if we do things like put in a pool or do the backyard, you can get back there. All right. So this is something that if you want to do this and you live in Texas, you need to make sure that you talk to them about proper grading and leveling of the yard, prep work for proper drainage, where these rocks are going to come from. If you have some on your property, best to save them and reuse them. So when our house was being built, the contractors that were working could have taken all of these rocks out of the backyard, and we told them to leave them so that we could reuse them later. All right. Well, that is our quick video that we now have landscaping. If any of you guys are considering xeriscaping, please drop comments. We'll answer any questions you may have. And we wish you all the luck at your house. Bye-bye.